ஹலோ, யாரு? தன்ராஜா? நான் தான் ராமசாமி பேசுறேன்.
Hello, welcome to Vanga Pesalam. Today, my guest, my niece Varshini. Hi, Varshini.
Hi, Mama. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So today we're going to be discussing the hit HBO show Succession season 4, which ended last week. So tell me your thoughts on this season, the final season.
Oh my God. Best show ever.
Mm.
Oh my God. I could not process. Like every episode, I was like, how's this going to end? And then I feel like I knew it, but then I would go back. Then maybe I knew it, but it kept me on my toes till the last second. And the writing and like the whole world
Whole
building
world,
around it
whole
is
it's
amazing.
amazing thing.
Yeah.
So basically, when the season 3 ended, so the kids are in a bad shape, right? So Logan takes control of the thing, Tom betrays Shiv, and then we start off from there. Now we see the three kids are trying to form something. I forgot it's some media thing or something, right? So they're trying to
Yeah,
form some 100. It's called the 100. They get the
correct.
100 top people and they try to form something. And
Yeah.
Logan is still trying to close the deal with the Pierce company. Yeah, that was pretty fun episode to start with. You know, the kids and the father fighting. It is birthday. You know, a lot of things happening on the very first episode itself. A lot of things were happening. It was pretty amazing
Yeah.
to see. So yeah, this one of the funniest thing is like they all try to bargain with each other. 7 billion, 8 billion, 9 billion, right? That was
In
pretty.
that first episode, right? Yeah. It seems like it's nothing to them.
That's nothing to them.
In the billions, it's
Billion.
just like something that's around.
The
Yeah.
dialogues are amazing in this show. You know, see, it's all like the way the Ken talks. He's like, she says like 8.5K, do you want to pump it up? I mean, we're 8.5. Do you want to pump it up? Do you want to, do you want to push it up? You know, it's pretty funny though.
I think they all sort of get dialogues like written for their character, but they
Oh, the
also
character,
improvise
yeah, yeah.
big time. Like their personalities come through in that character. So it gets even better.
To get even better. And then we find out that Shiv and Tom are going to get a divorce, right? They are slowly separated and they are kind of done. And finally, they get the company for $10 billion. And then Logan says, thank you for paying most or something. He has a final push
Yeah.
towards
Oh my
him.
God. It feels like that was only 12 weeks ago. It feels like it was like a lifetime ago that
Lifetime.
this happened.
Because so
Yeah.
many things happen in the season. So many things happen in the season, right? So
Yeah.
again, it's all that small twist like here and there, right? Even the some all these three kids, the kids are very sensitive, right? Very
Yeah.
sensitive, right? They cannot take a single defeat, single criticism, and even the episode 2, it starts with Shiv trying to find some lawyers, divorce lawyers, right? But Tom has spoken to every one of them, so it's a conflict, and like that gets it pissed. The small thing, but
Yeah.
for her it's like a huge insult because the dad is helping. Oh, that was crazy.
I think in the entire show, you see all of their characters being like people who like I know we will talk about this more specifically, but I think they don't know what it's like to be like responsible and like actual grown-ups and adults. And like what is a huge deal for some like normal, not a billionaire person is so simple for them. But what is simple for everybody else is something that they cannot even understand
Yeah.
because they just like have not developed in that side of things. Um,
Yeah, I think
it
like,
comes
that's because they always been under the dad, right? The dad has always been a huge figure on top, and he never let. I don't think he actually let them grow. He kind of that's the main thing. Whatever they want to do, the dad will not. It's not happening. It'd be like the
Yeah.
famous Logan Della, fuck off, you know.
Yeah.
Famous Della. So that's it. That's all it is.
I think they were so caught up in finding like fatherly love or, finding the meaning of family or whatever. They like didn't get anything like more out of it. Like they didn't reach that end goal of finding out what family would mean to them or something. And so everything just chases up to that.
Yeah, I mean, see that like on the first episode, they all want to sell the company. They all want to make money to buy PS and whatever. On the second episode, the Shiv get pissed off because of the divorce thing, right? And then Kendall gets a call from Matson, and then the Kendall is now. Then suddenly, like, they both join together and they want to screw up the deal. You know, it's all the small, small things. Not even like huge thing. Like one more final screw you to their father, right? He's trying to
Yeah.
close. Like they don't want him to close, and Roman is caught in the middle. And I don't know why like Roman went back to his dad. That wasn't clearly explained though. Suddenly he was okay with his dad and he was talking to him. I don't know
I
that.
think he's just the baby of the
Yeah,
family. Like he
I don't know.
just caved, like he at the end of the day he'd just rather do that. Like he'd pretend to be like independent, strong, and he knows what he wants. But I think Roman's character is the easiest character to figure out. He's just the baby of the family. He just wants like to be like, held on to and shown love, and like he gets to do whatever he wants to do after that.
Yeah, that
Um
was pretty funny. I didn't understand why he went back. But again, like, they all meet at the karaoke, right? Connor is trying to get married. That's another weird
yeah.
story going on over there, right? He's trying to get married, and
Yeah.
she doesn't want to get married. Oh, it's a kind of very
But
fun.
you know what I really loved about the karaoke episode, and that like came through in everything that happened after that, is when Logan says, "You
You're
are
not
not
serious.
serious people," and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like he knew his kids, and like better than anybody else
Anybody,
could. Like even we don't realize how not serious they are, and Logan knew that.
no, I mean that's why like he's not given the company to any of them, right? If he thought like somebody was like a worthy successor, even like in like season 2, like Kendall asked his father, "Do you think like I could do the job? No, the top job." Yeah, but like you're not a killer, that's what he says. You're not a killer. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but I mean that's a like in terms of farewell, that's an amazing sequence. The karaoke thing, the last final thing he says to them is a huge insult to them. You're not serious people,
Yeah.
you know.
Like he just went out with a banger.
It was,
Yeah.
then like
I
we get to the next one of the bombshell. I think bombshell like the history of television. I think right history of television that is huge, and
I was
I
not
can't even
prepared for the
believe how
next
they kept it
episode.
secret though. I really
Yeah,
cannot believe how they kept it secret. It's ridiculous. I don't know. In this day and age, nobody leaked anything, not even a hint, right?
right. Yeah.
I mean, there are
Because
like so many like detectives online, the Twitter detectives,
yeah,
they all would have read it, all those blogs, they found out. But apparently, they kept Logan's name in every episode. If you go to IMDb, in every episode, its name is there,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
So it's amazing. They thought of it all. It's very crazy, though.
I think that, I when the whole show started, it starts with Logan being sick, right? Like that's the
Yeah, that's
starting of
a
the
very first
show.
step. Yeah,
And so when he makes it out of it, like I feel like the best time for Logan to die would have been in that first episode. And then it's 4 seasons of the Succession. But when he lived that long, I don't think anyone expected that he would die like episode
no,
4.
he would die. I mean, not even die. The way he was killed was crazy, right? He had no scene, just a body on the
Yeah.
plane, right? That's it.
Yeah. And they
That's
don't
it.
even show it.
Nothing.
They don't show anything.
Anything. That's crazy though. That was one of
And
the greatest sequences I have seen. Yeah.
it's just everybody around Logan reacting,
Yeah.
and everyone like feeling the grief for themselves, and not really, it's not anything about Logan at all. It's like Logan scene ended with that karaoke scene,
Yeah.
and then there's no Logan after that.
Yeah. I mean, and the sequence, like in the boat, apparently they shot the whole thing in like in 3 days or something, and they shot the entire thing in like one sequence. Just like one guy just following them wherever they go. They shot a single shot kind of a thing. It's amazing acting, though, right? They
Yeah.
don't want to believe at first, and they want to say sorry. They want to say farewell. They're crying. They're not crying. They're arguing. Oh, I think
I
that's
think
what
they
I,
all
I, I was
came in
telling.
terms.
Yeah, I was telling
Hmm.
Sanjana, this show is like the top of the top actors, right? It's like
Correct.
having like Sachin Tendulkar, Bradman, Richards all in one team, and they're all at top of the game,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
amazing to watch. Amazing, amazing to watch.
They they are so into their characters,
Character.
like it's not even like acting at that point. And I think Jeremy anyway is that person. He's
He's
like
already
his
there. He's
character,
already
yeah,
there.
all the time.
He's already there.
um but it comes maybe a little bit easier to the others to be so much like their character. So I think they all faced grief like so differently and like so like their own characters. Like you don't know whether to like tell whether they're being serious or whether they're joking. Even when they are in that scene, in that episode, you're like, wait, are they like happy or are they sad? And then they're really sad. And then suddenly this is like they're joking about it, about something. And then suddenly everything's like business, business, business. Let's get this news out.
I know.
And like, how do we put this in the press? And I'm like, wow, so much
Yeah, but
happened in one
it's like
day.
almost like everything happened and they cannot process it, right? They cannot process it.
Yeah.
And they think now, okay, now what next? Right? What's next? Apparently, it's a very, there's a guy called Summer Redstone. He's a CBS Viacom CEO. He passed away a couple of years ago. And the show is kind of based on their family technically because the daughter went through the same thing with one of the CEOs and all those things. But it's kind of interesting to watch. But again, that I never thought like they could kill Logan, only because it's a great character and a great actor
Yeah.
too, right? Amazing
And he was
actor too.
anchoring the
Yeah,
show.
anchoring.
Everything was happening around him. It was not like he was one character. Like
Yeah.
he's a center character, and all the other characters reacting to what Logan did.
And it's amazing. The guy, after the episode, there was a huge interview with him on one of those. And he said, I fully respected his decision because I thought like a great way for me to go. Right? It's a great way for
Correct.
me to go. Amazing into my character. And it keeps,
Yeah.
I mean, people are shocked. There's still like 7 episodes to go. This guy dies in the third episode. What's gonna
I was
happen?
shocked. I was like, what's going to
What's
happen?
gonna happen? Right?
What
Uh,
are they ending the show in this episode?
I know. That was crazy. Then the way like Tom was talking to him, she was saying bye to him. Oh, that was crazy. That was one of
Yeah.
the most amazing. I mean, I still think it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Without any spoilers and everything. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how in this day and
Very
age how
well.
they kept it secret.
Very well. And maybe it helped that it was so early in the season. Maybe it was much later in the season. There would have been a lot of lead up to it. But then it's early in the
It was
season.
like that was like zero hint, right? He was not sick, nothing. He
Yeah.
just like that is gone. That was
I
crazy.
couldn't believe it actually. Like when Tom calls them and tells them, I couldn't like I thought maybe like something had happened, but I couldn't believe that he was like really dead till like a certain point where I think maybe a little more than like maybe people would have realized it a little earlier, but it took me a really long time to be like, oh my God, they actually killed
No,
the character. This is not
yeah,
like
I thought like
emergency landing the flight and like bringing him back alive or something. This is like the end of his character.
I thought like maybe like he'll go into coma, you know,
Mm,
like he'll be in like in coma for the next 3 or 4 episodes, and then he comes back,
yeah.
and then they saw. But when they actually killed him, I was like, wow, okay. I mean, that took a
Comes
lot of
back,
guts. That took a lot of guts.
names the successor, then
Yeah,
dies.
yeah, yeah. But still,
Show
yeah,
ends.
that took a lot of guts on their part. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really have to appreciate. I mean, applaud them for this. Yeah. So now Logan is dead, right? So then he's in the background. So now like, they all go and they all have a huge meeting and the famous letter from Logan, where nobody knows whether like Kindle name is underlined or stricken. So what do you think? Is it underlined or it is striked out?
I have a feeling like in the end, like the last few days, maybe Logan would have been in a rush to like identify a successor. I'm not saying that he knew he was going to die, but I feel like he might have wanted to decide what was going to happen. Like if the Gojo deal had gone through, then like the way Logan wanted it to go through, then there was no need for like a successor or anything. But so maybe then like the mindset of Logan at that point would have just been, if anything happens to me, then Ken. But if the Gojo deal goes through, then sell the company, move away. These kids get their money, life goes on. Um, but yeah, I feel like it would have been Ken that he wanted.
Yeah, but again, see again, those three kids, even though they are close, they are not really close. They are kind of close in the beginning. The moment they find out that Ken's name was underlined or not underlined, whatever, then they all get again into their own battle
Yeah,
stations, right? And
yeah.
then they don't like it.
And then
Like
that just
nobody.
carries through. Like
Mm.
their relationship is so um like based off of like convenience, like
Yeah,
do
yeah.
I want to be co-CEO, then I'll just cozy up to Kendall. Do I want to be like, like a part of the team, then I will do this. If I don't want, then I will just go the other side. I feel like their entire relationship was just based on convenience
I
in
know.
that way.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're so sensitive and they cannot stand each other's success, right? They cannot stand. They can, even though their own blood and everything, the moment like somebody slightly goes up, they want to pull them down. That's what they.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, in this episode, like they decide that Roman and Kendall should be joint COOs, which really pisses off Shiv. Right? She doesn't like it, but they say, no, 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 we'll be like, keep you inside. We'll include you. Let's all do this, blah, blah, blah. And there is an amazing scene where like they all decide whether to bash Logan, like in the media, and everybody says, no, no, let's not do that. But then Ken calls the guy. He says, you know what? Just softly do it, silently.
Yeah.
All the dialogue is pretty awesome in that scene. The last scene, he kind of slowly
Yeah.
pushes him, just do this, okay?
Yeah. They nailed the dialogues in all of the episodes. I think they really as in like there's certain like point of view in those dialogues. Everyone has a point of view.
Yeah,
Everyone has like a catch or like something that they have to say that will just make the whole thing like so much more interesting than it needs to be. Yeah, absolutely. I think that episode everyone's losing their minds, but they're all like, I want this so badly. Like, I want to be CEO so badly.
yeah. I mean, Kendall for some moment is kind of sad. Then he suddenly
Yeah.
turns a mean guy, right? The business guy. He wants to, like what do you say? Like say some negative stuff about the father. You know, he doesn't even
Yeah.
like hesitate for a minute. Even like Roman is, no, no, let's not do that. That's not good. Let's not do that. But no, he said, okay, let's do it. We don't
But
care.
he says that that's what Logan would have
What
done.
they would
Like,
have
that's
done.
what
Yeah,
Logan
that's
would
what.
have
Yeah, that's what he would
wanted.
have done. Yeah, yeah.
Which
Maybe, but
I,
I think like he's just trying to convince himself. Like he's just trying to convince, you know what, let's just be an asshole because my dad would have expected me to be an asshole.
him to be
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, exactly. I think he tried to understand what Logan would have wanted out of him and tried to act like that. But he's so far away from that, and like that only comes through like you throughout you think, okay, maybe Kendall's a good choice, like maybe if this had to go down it should be Kendall, like if anybody it's not Roman. In my mind it could have never been Roman.
It's
It
not
could have
Roman.
been Shiv. Yeah, it could have been Shiv, it could have been Can, and more definitely it could have been Can, because Shiv just does not have the business background
It's
that
not
Ken
in
has.
business, but I mean, it's a very rare thing a woman is coming to the top. You even America, even in this day and age, even in this day and age, it's one of the
Yeah.
biggest things to do. But anyway, but again, then we come to the Norway episode, which is one of the amazing episode, right? So they
Yeah.
all go to Norway, they a beautiful retreat, and everybody is scared. Nobody knows who's going to get fired, what's going to happen, and they all settle on a price on the deal. 132 is good, 140 is better, blah blah blah, and that's a great thing. I mean, this guy has all the power now. Matt and she has all the power. He like insults them left, right, and center, right? Everybody, Tom, Greg, nobody is bad, and he looked at
Yeah.
Greg, who are you? That's pretty funny. That's really
I
funny.
think the cultural difference between
Yeah,
Europeans and Americans really came through in that
really good.
episode. Um, Europeans just cannot take the Americans seriously, and the Americans are like so confused. They're like, what's happening here? Why are you being this way?" And on top of that, this guy is like an eccentric billionaire. Like he's like walking around barefoot and wearing like t-shirt and like
T-shirt.
joggers where they're all coming like professional, and there's just so much, like they keep saying we're going to go see the cultural fit, and you can just see there's no cultural
There's no
fit.
cultural fit. Yeah, and
Just like,
yeah, the Matson guy is also a pretty nuts guy, right? Because he has a huge scene with Shiv where he's trying to tell about his what is that CEO
Ebba.
Eba.
She's
I used to,
Ebba.
yeah, I used to send blood to her. I'm like, what? I'm watching. I'm like, what? I sent her multiple times. I'm like, what? Her bags of blood to her.
I think billionaires are
Oh,
just like
that
that.
was
They'll just
so
do
nuts.
that.
And the amazing thing is that Shiv doesn't react, right? Shiv, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Maybe yeah, don't do that. Oh, that is pretty
Oh
amazing
God.
scene, actually. Amazing scene.
Matson's character is just the most confusing character in the show, according to me. I think he was just all over the place. And I want to think that he was so smart that he knew he was doing, but I think sometimes he was just an eccentric guy who just
He just I mean,
wanted things
that's
his
how you
way.
say he just an eccentric guy. He just does what he wants, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and the brothers try to play him off by showing this dumb movie, 3 hour movie, and he knows he's getting played. And there's an amazing scene on the hilltop where he says, "I know like, what you guys are trying to do. Okay, so I know what you guys are
Yeah.
trying to do. Don't fuck me on this." And then like, Roman gets mad at him. We're not going to sell you, man. Blah blah blah. All these things. And then
Yeah.
finally, like he comes back with a huge offer, right? Huge offer. And then he says to
Just
Shiv,
to spite
yeah,
them. I
just to
think
spite them.
just to get back at
Yeah.
them that he did that. It's wow. Billionaires.
Yeah, that's what the whole Norway thing shows that how serious Madsen is, how like ill prepared these two are, right? They don't know how
Yeah.
to play the game. And even he says that like in the very first scene when they meet, he says, "Come on, guys, I'm just having fun with you. Do you know how to negotiate? Do you know how to negotiate? This is what happens. It is the first time, all those things."
Yeah. Yeah. They don't.
Yeah.
They have no clue. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know how it would have gone down. If Logan was there, maybe he would have like given a prize, played maths, and done, dusted. But if it was anybody other than Kendall or Roman, like maybe it would have gone another way. Like, they'd say we'll sell, but maybe they would have sold to an extremely low price. And Matson would have been willing to go
Yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
far.
Yeah,
There's
he's
no good situation after Logan died of
yeah,
how
yeah,
that
yeah,
it would have ended up.
yeah. I mean, he just calls them a tribute band, right? He just calls them the tribute band, tribute band in front
Yeah.
of Ken. He gets mad. But there's an amazing scene where like they're making fun of Greg in Swedish, and then Ken comes to defense, right? Maybe it's like funny with subtitles, you know. You know,
Oh,
poor
Greg.
Greg. He's the punching bag of the everybody in the show. Oh, so
In the
sad.
whole show. I'm like, why are you around, son? Like, just go do other things,
But I
find
mean,
other people.
apparently like it doesn't know do the other things, right? Yeah, that's why he's here. I think even one of the season he tries to do something with the forgot some the uncle has a charity or something Greenpeace something he tries to do he couldn't do that. That's why
Yeah,
he like comes back to this, so
correct. Yeah, I don't think he has it in him to maybe.
the next episode it's not a great, it's about the living plus, again now Shiv and Matson are totally are like in Kakud, like they're trying to screw up the deal. They're trying to do
Yeah,
whatever they can to spoil the brothers. Even there, the living place also, I think like Roman doesn't want Ken to succeed, right?
correct.
Even though
But
they're
Ken
part of a
does
team.
succeed,
Yeah,
and it took
yeah,
me a
that's
while to
amazing. Yeah,
understand that he did
succeed.
succeed. And that's where I was like, maybe Ken has a chance at this. Like, he's not entirely crazy. Like, he handled that situation on the stage with Matson's tweet
With
really,
everything
really
really
well.
well. Again, that's why I'm saying like that really like pieces of Roman and Shiv because like Ken succeeded, right? They
Yeah.
want him to fail so badly, even if it is slightly better, they get mad.
And like in that scene, you can tell that they're commenting, but then when things go well, they're just like, they're shocked. They're like, oh my God, can actually handle this. Yeah, I think. Oh, but Ken's like entire like journey to that scene where he's like, oh, living plus, let's elevate the value and let's like make this bigger than it is, and it his eccentricity came out in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
They're all eccentric. I think you just have to be when you're dealing with that much
I know.
money. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sort of the living plus thing was a amazing thing. I thought he is going to fail, which is what a normally, but again he kind of pulls together. And there's a weird scene where like the dad is talking on the screen. He's in the bottom. Hello, dad. Hi, dad. All those weird stuff. But finally, it all comes through. Everybody likes it. So that's a great thing.
That's also the scene where they fired that one person in California and then fired Jerry as well, right? Like that's the episode that happened.
Yeah.
It
Again,
really
again, like
shows that.
that shows like how Roman is not prepared for the top job, right?
Correct. Yeah. Roman couldn't handle it. Like, I think throughout like the rest of the season, also he felt like so guilty for letting Jerry go.
Jerry
And
go.
she was so mad. She said, I will not have this. Like, I'll just not put up with this at all.
Yeah, that's fun. Then we come to that the Shiv and Tom's party. So now, like for some reason, Shiv and Tom are back together, right? They're kind of together, and then they go to a party. They both bite each other. That's a weird stuff going on. And I don't know what was that about, but right. Then they all
Yeah.
have a huge party. That episode, I think, one of the greatest acting sequences between Tom and Shiv in the balcony, when they both throw insults back and forth at each other. That's amazing,
Yeah.
amazing performance by both
Right.
great actors, right?
I think between them, like I keep thinking about how this would have happened. Tom is like a nobody, right? Like this is like Gossip Girl and Tom is Dan. Like he is really a nobody, but he marries this extremely
Wealthy.
wealthy like girl. She might have only married him because she really, really likes him. Because why else would she marry like a complete rando, right? And it doesn't look like she's trying to like do anything else other than actually being in love with him and having married him, and then things just go bad. I think at the end of the day she always wants to go back to liking him, loving him, like being in that relationship. That's her comfort zone. But Tom has so much more going on than like his like for Shiv, which might have been like second priority, third priority by that point, because he makes it very clear. I think it's in that episode where he says the money is the most important thing to me, right? Like he's not joking. He's like, sure, like we like each other or whatever, but I'm here for the money. Like if the money goes,
I
I
agree.
don't know what I will do. So there's more to Tom's side of the relationship, but Shiv's side of the relationship is just that she likes him and that he's actually like owning her or like using her or like just
He says
being
that, I
with
mean,
her.
I'm with you, Shiv, because I love you and all those things he says there. And then he says, you are ready to like, send me to prison. You don't even like, hesitate, so you're willing to, and then she says, you betrayed me at the last. Oh, I mean, the amazing dialogue, like back and forth, back and forth. It was like, I think they both needed that, right? They had to let out whatever they're feeling and everything. So that was pretty crazy. And then on the same episode, we see like cousin Greg firing everybody on a Zoom call, right? Like,
PTSD. I feel like nobody in this day and age in like 2021 wants to see a video of people getting fired. It's just the most scary thing. Like I felt bad, but it is how corporates are approaching the whole thing, right? So
I
yeah,
mean,
I
that
was
kind
just
of like impresses Matson, right? Oh, really? You fired a lot of people today, huh? Amazing. So that is where I thought like cousin Greg will be the one, you know? I thought that one scene maybe kind of shifted the favor like towards Greg. I know it's not going to be the three kids. We all know that. But who? Then I
yeah.
thought maybe it could be cousin Greg. He could be like the puppet for Matson or whatever, because he was so impressed. Oh, you fired a lot of people. Yeah, that took guts. So that was pretty crazy though.
It would have been so funny if it was
Right,
Greg.
right,
But
so,
he would have
but
done it.
again,
Like he would have
people,
done what Tom did.
yeah,
Like Greg would have done it.
they've done it. But again, people are saying it could not have been Greg because Greg is not it's a very serious character, right? He's a joke character. So I don't think that would have spoiled the entire show. That's what people are saying. It would spoil the entire show. It would have made the show like a very silly show, if they'd actually done that. So yeah.
The other thing that I thought might happen to Greg was that Logan, in like some will of his, would have said that Greg would be like the final decision maker or something like that, just to
I
spike
don't think
him.
even like Logan is
What is
that dumb.
Logan giving Greg? I need to know.
No, I
What is
don't think like
he?
that would happen because Greg comes from the brother side of the family, right? He's something,
Yeah.
something. So I don't hear. I hate his brother. Logan hates his brother, so I don't
I
think
feel
that.
like Logan would have just done something because it will like make everyone around him mad that he gave the power to Greg or whatever. It would have been funny. I mean, they would have toned him down if that was the case. But yeah, I guess that didn't
Yeah,
happen.
again, like now they're trying to get the Mencken, the conservative candidate versus the Democratic guy, and they talk about like who should be the next president and all those things. So now we have election episode, right? That is another totally chaotic episode, right? So many
Yeah.
things is going on. The whole election is happening, and there's people burning ballots. This is happening, and nobody knows what to do. Again, they're all trying to figure out like who should be the next president. Shiv wants somebody, they want somebody, and there's a huge back and
Yeah.
forth going on. And there's a very funny scene where like cousin Greg like has a sushi or something, and this guy eats it, puts it in the ear, and he's like crying.
Wasabi in the eyes.
Wasabi. And he poured the water on him. It's a soda, lemon. It's good for you. It's good for you. You know, that is pretty funny. Oh,
Oh my God, how do they bring like such a comedy element in
comedy. Oh,
the
that's
middle of
very
such a
funny.
serious episode, in the middle of such a serious scene also?
Serious scene, and here like Roman is going all over the place talking to Mencken, and then like Connor is trying to negotiate with him about ambassadorship or whatever. Connor is another very fun guy, right?
And
Connor.
he's like,
So
Slovenia,
Slovenia,
fun, but let's do it.
that's so
That
funny.
crazy. Like, it, Connor will just take anything. Like, he'll
Anything.
just go with whatever. It's like, oh, I want to be president. Okay, I don't want to be president. Oh, I'll move to Slovenia. I don't want to move to Slovenia. I'll get married. I don't want to get married. They just like gave Connor, they just said, pick, choose your adventure, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, one of the things that we missed is like Connor does get married. Whenever the father dies, they actually get married at the end, even though like she wants
Yeah.
to leave and everything, but they when they get married. And one of the questions online was, what if Logan had gone to Connor's wedding, right? Instead of getting on the plane, where apparently him and Kerry, the secretary, they were doing stuff in the bathroom. That's how he got heart attack. That's what people are saying happened. That's it. So that Kerry
Okay.
character is another funny character too, right? It's the
Yeah.
funny character. She has the huge presentation of she wants to be the front desk and the news desk, and she's always smiling when she's reading bad news, sad news. You know,
She was horrible.
it was really horrible. And then like Greg has to go and give her the bad news. You know that you are not that
Yeah.
good. Just top of the people think that you may not be like good for the job. You know,
He's like, oh, you did a survey? Oh,
so,
you did that?
that poor guy, that really poor guy. It's so sad.
Oh God.
Again, in this
Maybe if he
episode
had
is
gone to
when
the
like
wedding, he wouldn't have died.
I'm
Maybe.
sorry.
Maybe if he had gone to the wedding, he
Yeah,
wouldn't
he
have
wouldn't have
died.
died. Yeah. That's what people are saying. If you had gone to the wedding, you would have survived. You know. But again, in this episode is when like Kendall asks Shiv to call the guy, and then she just like fake calls him, and then he call. Oh, that's an amazing sequence. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Reaction is amazing, right? So even then, like she was trying to support Shiv. Actually, Ken was on Shiv's side. Like, just wait. Don't call the election. Let's
Yeah.
just wait. The moment he find out that she betrays him, he said, "Yeah, let's go for it. I don't care. Do it."
The like at that point, I think Shiv lost whatever cards she had
She
had,
had
or
to
like
play.
whatever say she had had. That immediately goes away at that moment. And like she did work in the side of politics, and she did work on like the Democratic side and helping like whoever the previous president or whatever she did do all that, so she has a pretty good idea of what is right, like to politically say, or what you should put on TV, or what ATN stance on this should be. But nobody would even take her seriously because
Yeah.
of how things had ended up, which is sad, I think.
And I mean, like she again, like we missed one important thing where like Matson. his whole thing is bogus because the India numbers are not good. If it comes out, then it could be a problem, all those things. But Shiv addresses him on the next episode, which is the Logan funeral. He says, you know what, right now the whole media is like focused on the election. Just slowly slide your news about these bogus numbers. You know, and they all
Correct.
they go to the funeral. Roman is elected to speak. And then suddenly the uncle gets up,
That
he starts
episode,
speaking.
oh
That's
my God.
episode. The uncle gets up, he starts to speak.
I read an article where they graded all of their speeches, like high school grades, like A plus or B plus or whatever. And when I think back at his brother's speech, it's like the best eulogy ever. Like I haven't heard of a better eulogy, like of any show or any person eulogizing any other person with like there's so much subtext to what he was
What is saying?
saying.
Yes.
And at the very top it looks like they had a brotherly bonding, but
Yeah.
like they just couldn't come in terms of like their personalities were so different, and Logan was not even, I don't think Logan was really even like rude to his brother or treated his brother badly or whatever, but I
But
think
he has
his brother
like a
was
bad memory,
complete.
right? About the sister
Yeah,
and
I think
everything. Yeah.
their personalities were so contrast that they just couldn't get along.
Yeah.
I don't think they did anything bad to each other. It's just they couldn't be together like as brothers. It wasn't something that they could,
Yeah. But it was a
come
great
together.
speech, amazing speech by him. And then like, they are all trying to prevent him from speaking. And one of Greg's job was to stop his uncle from speaking, but he couldn't do that. And they all get mad at Greg. You know? Again, he's the punching
Like,
bag.
what do I do?
What do you do?
What can I do?
That guy is amazing, amazing actor. That guy. So then this happens,
Greg,
and then
right?
like
Yeah.
yeah, Roman is supposed to give a speech, and then Roman starts crying. He just totally flakes.
I knew 1000%. Like the first scene and that episode starts with Robin giving his speech and he's being all cool and he's like, sure, like dad, what do you think? Like he's like just like saying that, what he wants to say in the speech so casually. That moment I knew he's not gonna give the speech. I just knew. I'm like, he's saying the speech right now and they're showing more than like they technically should, because he'll have to say the speech again. And the moment they did that scene, I was like, he's not going to be able to say the speech. Like either the whole thing's going to get canceled or he's going to get up there and not be able to speak. 100%. Like that's exactly how it played out. And that shows how, like, again, Roman's character is
So
like
weak, kind of weak.
he's so weak. Yeah, he's so weak.
See, but again, I mean, then like Roman and Shiv give a almost half a decent speech. I think like not Roman.
Tense.
Ken gives a nice speech too. He says, "Yeah, my dad is a bad guy, but I hope that I have that badness in me too, to survive, all those
Yeah.
amazing things." So that
Mostly it's
Roman
just because
breaking
of
down,
politics.
yeah, Roman breaking down kind of brings down all the pull he has over the Menken, right? He sees him break down and then he's done with him. That's it. That's why he says, well, like Ken says, hey man, we had to stop the deal. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah, let me think about it. Right there. Oh, that's great.
Even like a funeral for them is like
Yeah,
a business deal.
business dealings. Yeah.
Yeah. It's shocking,
And
but
then it's funny, like Shiv says to Matt, son, you know what? Maybe just propose him that like you will have like an American CEO at the head, and then Matt, oh really? Who do you have in mind? That was pretty
I don't know, like,
me.
me.
Me. That was, yeah, they both have a amazing relationship, right? That's pretty funny to see.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, like we are at the point where like he has proposed to have a US CEO, which Mencken agrees immediately, right? He didn't even hesitate. Yeah, it's fine, So that was nice to watch. And then people are saying the last scene where like Ken goes and insults Roman, right? Hey man, you fucked up. Okay, you fucked up. It happens. They just get up, and then he gets really mad because apparently, like people are saying like, that's so like Logan would have done it. Like Logan would have been like insulting Roman all the time to get him to perform. So that's what like Ken was trying to do with him. But I don't
Yeah.
know if he just gets up and then like walks into the crowd. He wants to be abused or whatever. So that's a very, very interesting character, right? With all the
Roman's
money they
character,
have,
right?
Roman, with all the money he has, He still needs somebody to love him, somebody to give him the respect, somebody to approve him. Oh, crazy.
Yeah. I
I
feel
mean,
like when he walked into that crowd, like
he wanted to get hit, he wanted to get punished, he wanted to get whatever. That's what he's
yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to self-sabotage
Just
over
accept
there
that.
and
I mean,
like maybe like, feel something. I don't know.
I think about he has a president on his speed dial, right? He has that much power. Still, it's not enough for him, right? He still wants the more recognition or approval or whatever you want to call it. It's crazy. So that is the last scene in the episode where he goes in the crowd and then like gets hit. So then we come to the final episode, one of the greatest. I mean, all if you want to talk about the series finale, this has to be in the top five or top
One of
three
the
even.
best.
One of the
Yeah,
best.
one of the
I mean, number one would always be a Sopranos. So I don't think like anybody can like beat
I've
that.
not watched that,
You should
but
watch. That's a
sure.
great show. Sopranos is where like I don't know if you know this. The last scene where they show they're all having dinner, and there's a guy coming into apparently to kill him, which is not told at all, and then the scene just cuts. It just becomes a blank screen. Like
And the show ends.
that's it. That's it. This happened what in 2004 or five, and everybody was tapping the TV. They thought like something went wrong. This is like before Twitter, all those stuff, right? Nobody had any clue.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's
Oh.
going on? So, listen, something is wrong with the TV, this and that. But that's how it ended.
Tell us how it really ends.
That's how it ended. One of the greatest ending of all time. But this one is definitely in the top three. Last episode, this got to be in the top three. Amazing, amazing episode.
I think
Amazing
they did
episode.
a really, really good job.
I
There's
mean, I went and like
everybody's on
saw
their
it one
toes.
more time actually. I watched it twice, you know. I
Oh,
saw it twice
okay.
just to see like amazing, amazing thing.
I'd love to go back and watch it. Maybe the whole show again, but especially the last season,
Yeah,
final
I mean, it's a
season.
great thing where like they all trying to play each other. And suddenly Roman is missing. Shiv is trying to manipulate something. Ken is trying to do something, and then they all meet at the mother's house, right? And that's an amazing sequence. And Roman is saying, like, don't fight. Don't
Yeah.
talk about business. I don't want to hear about business. And apparently, the shirt he's wearing, Roman is wearing, it's like a $10 Walmart shirt. It seems. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
somebody
saw
found.
that.
Yeah,
It was like
somebody found out.
a kid's shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, I read about that.
that's
Um,
crazy.
they'll
That is
just do
crazy.
that. I mean, I think fashion in this entire show, it's created like a new culture.
New
I
culture.
think, the whole concept of quiet luxury or stealth wealth, that none of these people are wearing any logos. They're not like flaunting how rich they are. They're wearing like regular clothes, except, like Ken's hat was like $600.
Yeah.
Like it's a plain black hat and it's $600. And the shirt that he like wore like in that final episode when they pour that
The
king's
juice.
drink
Yeah,
or
the king's
whatever, yeah, that juice on
king's cup,
him.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like $6,000 or something like that.
Crazy.
Insanely expensive, like linen shirt or something like it's supposed to be like that expensive. But you'll just not know like whether these people care about fashion,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
these people care about what they wear, maybe not, like they just don't, but everything is like the highest quality. I think the
Yeah,
show
it's
created
fun.
like a
Like, yeah, it's really fun. Like they
thing.
go to Barbados, right? They go to Barbados. They're all trying to play an angle, right? But the main scene happens in the US where like Matson meets Tom at the restaurant. That is one of the, I mean, a lot of scenes in the show, but that is a great sequence where like Matson is asking Tom, just come on, pitch me about yourself. Let's just hear what you want to do. And Tom says all the right things, right? She says all the
Correct,
right things. And then he
correct.
says the worst thing to a husband, I want to sleep with your wife, and he does not even react, right? He just
Yeah.
does not even react, show any anger, nothing. That's amazing.
The final episode for everybody, it sort of is like a bow on top for
Yeah,
their
go on top.
character,
Correct,
right?
correct.
It really like ties like இதுதான் இவங்க, like it
Yeah,
just finalizes that, and it comes through for Tom.
Tom
Like
shoot.
he said from the beginning he
From the
only
beginning,
cares
from the beginning.
cares
See,
only.
yeah, from the beginning, he's been taking an abuse from Shiv, right? From his father, from the father-in-law also, right? And he says, I mean, he's willing to go to the prison for his dad. He did a lot of the stuff. Now, whatever his Matson is saying, Tom has already done that, right? So it's not a surprise when he says, I want to sleep with your wife because she already like like cheated on him. It's not something new for him. It's not a huge shocker for him, right? But
Correct.
he does not realize why he's saying all these things, because he says, why would I have the girl with the baby than the guy who put the baby in the girl? How about you? And Tom is shocked. Oh, me? Yeah, I could do it. That
Yeah, yeah. I think the other thing that I noticed was that, like, the other side of this, right? Like, back to the conversation about what Tom and Shiv, like, how they maybe found each other, is that Tom is not an idiot. Like,
he's not
he
an idiot.
is a top CEO. Like, he is CEO material. He was ATN CEO. And in that episode, when that election episode is happening, the coverage episode is happening, you can see a lot of things that he makes decisions about
Yeah,
are good decisions.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, he says, I'm supposed to be the one who takes the call on whether to cover that Wisconsin thing or not. And he makes right
Yeah, he
decisions,
makes
which
that
means
decision.
he's not like completely like just like some guy who just got up from nowhere and now like is a CEO. He knows like
He knows
what
stuff. He
needs
knows
to
stuff.
be
See,
done.
like the kids don't want to accept Tom as something who knows stuff, because it makes them weak, right? Like they don't want to. They lose power like in front of Tom, which like, the same with Shiv too. She never acknowledges Tom as a smart guy. But see, again, think about it. Like Matson asked him about Tom, Shiv like says some positive things about Tom, right? Yeah, he can take a lot of abuse. He can take a lot of this, a lot of that, which is what he's expecting. Matson wants.
Correct.
Which is what he
Yeah.
wants, and this is what like it tells him too. I want someone who can just be a paint sponge. Who can just take all the paint from me. And he says, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll do
which
it.
which makes sense
Which
because the
makes
whole
sense.
point of having the American CEO is just to be the face of the company, right?
Yeah,
And he says
yeah.
like you're not going to get anything other than just eight, maybe like people use you as a punching bag, and like Shiv could have not been that person.
No, 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 no. No, because he sees, right, like she wants to be an equal. She wants to be an equal, which is he like he does not like. And like he says, she has a lot of ideas, which he does not like. So she was very, very pushy, which he does not like, right? So
Which, yeah,
all
I
those
mean,
things.
Shiv's character itself does that. And I feel like even from a business angle for Matson, like when he is buying the company, he's not going to give that much control back
Control, yeah.
to the people who owned the company before, right? He wants to have full control. Um, I just wouldn't trust Shiv. Like if I was Matson,
Yeah. I mean,
for example.
another thing is he says very clearly, right? I mean, I don't want to sleep with your wife, right? Which kind of a distraction, because he's already went through the whole thing with Eba. He knows all the problematic thing that can happen, because if he does do something like that with another CEO. So
Yeah,
he says, no. But again, in terms of skill set, he already has Eba, who's kind of has the same skills or even more better than Shiv, right? Speaks the same
correct.
language. He knows the entire company, so he can do whatever like Shiv can do. But what he wants an American CEO who he can control, and Tom is a perfect person, right?
Yeah,
And even
yeah.
Tom is shocked. At the end, he says, he just sit there like, motherfucker. What is happening? He's like shocked.
He's just shocked. He's like, did this just happen? Um,
And then like
in
they
the
all go and have the
game.
shots. They all try to go have the shots. And then like Madsen is talking to the Gunther, forgot Gun or somebody guy. And then like
Yeah,
Greg
yeah.
is doing the translate app, and then he's trying to translate everything.
He finds
And he
out.
finds
Yeah.
out.
I didn't expect that from Greg, actually. Like, I
Even
didn't
he's
think
very
that.
smart. He's very smart too. Think about that. He's very smart to know that.
Yeah, yeah, he's smart. And, but I didn't think that he would be, um, like, I think that I would have expected him to understand that the three siblings would actually give him nothing. Like, they will claim to give him something, but then will not go, like, to the end, like they will not help him at all. They'll use him, they'll throw him. But I feel like Tom is somebody who will hold on to him because
Hold on.
maybe they come from similar worlds,
Similar word, yeah.
right?
They're outside.
Um,
No, they're outsiders. They're outsiders,
yeah, they're
and they've
outsiders.
been
And
bonding
so,
throughout the series. They've been bonding throughout the series, right? Yeah.
correct. And in the end, he betrays Tom like that. I wasn't like happy with Greg at all for that.
Now again, remember that. Like he does not call Shiv, he calls Ken, because he knows that Ken has the power in that sequence. He knows that
Correct.
Ken is going to win and whatever. And that's amazing scene too. Hey man, I have something really huge, man. It's going to blow your mind, man. And like, hey, come on, Greg, just shoot your shot, man. Come on, take your shot. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Um,
And
and
that's
these three have been
another
fighting about
sequence too.
something.
Then like she finds out, she gets really mad, right? And now, like Roman says, okay, with her, I think we are back now. Let's just go for it. That's amazing.
And then they start fighting about who needs to be
Who needs to
CEO.
be? I
I
mean,
was like, this is such
whatever
a
Ken
weird
says, it's all right.
conversation.
Yeah, whatever Ken says, it's all accurate though. He said like Roman cannot be the CEO because he cried, right?
Yeah.
He showed he's weak. And then Shiv cannot be because till yesterday you were on the other side. Now you are on this side, which doesn't make any. So I'm the only one, which kind of makes sense at that point, you know.
I was so convinced that it was going to be Ken. Like, I was so sure that it would be Ken the whole way till the very, very end. I was like, Ken could pull this off. Like, maybe this is what the entire show was about, him convincing his siblings, and they all come together. And like, now finally, they are a family and they make decisions. And he says, yeah, you take ATN, we'll give Rome something else. And in my understanding, that's like, I wasn't expecting an added twist to this. I
Yeah.
thought the twist was that, these people finally come together and make a decision and go through with it. And I was so happy seeing that scene where they all just like come together and they're like, we wanted to kill you, but
We don't want to
we
get
decided to crown
not to
you
kill
or
you.
something like
And
that
then the
they
Roman
did.
is like, yeah, like, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. That's funny. You spoil the surprise, That was pretty funny though. And they all say,
That
we
entire
anoint you.
scene of them bonding,
Amazing.
I
The
felt like
bonding.
first
Yeah.
time they bonded as a family,
Family, man.
like as siblings, where they like lick that guy's cheese. And
Jeez.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny. And this is such a family thing to do.
No, they all say like we anoint you, and they say, "Come on, laugh, man. You can smile now." And then he like, "Oh, smiling Ken," that's pretty funny. And they all make an amazing Jeremy Strong impression. You saw that like Roman speak like
Yeah.
they both. Apparently, like they all do that on the like on the show itself. It's like on the back set. They all do that. It seems they all like everybody has a Jeremy Strong impression. And they all do it. It
Oh,
seems
really?
that's pretty
Yeah. I
funny.
mean, I feel like you can imitate him. Like he's already the character all the time. He'll be
All the
speaking
correct.
like that. It'll just be that easy to do. Yeah.
So, I mean, the moment like Matson picked Tom, then I know like that is going to be the ending because I never thought the kids will be the CU. I never, because if they had, then the show, it could have been weird show because throughout the series, like they're not shown any of them to be like competent, right? Any of them. They all had issues. Everybody had issues. I mean, Shiv is pregnant. She can't even tell anybody, right? And even like when she tells Tom, and then Tom is like, "Is this a move?" That's what he said. That
I
is
can't believe, because I think Tom just, he's like, I love you, I don't love you, it's fine, whatever, don't mess with me, that's
no,
it.
because it's all
He-
game, right? They all
yeah.
trying to angle, do something or other, back and forth, back and forth. It's crazy. Nobody knows what is true and what is not true, right? They all
And they
trying
don't
to do
speak
something.
clearly. They don't say
Yeah.
the words you're supposed to say. They say like the words you're supposed to say, parallel words, which are
Uh,
not the words you're supposed to
the
say.
only
I'm
time
like,
they
speak
say the actual
directly.
words is like when they fight.
Yeah,
Only time. Uh,
yeah,
yeah. That's when all the truth comes out, right? If not, it's all like jargons and jumbled up words and weird stuff and
yeah. Like joking, something
joking.
like some other meaning to what they're saying. And I'm like, just speak like a normal person.
Normal person. So now we come to the famous board meeting, famous board meeting, and for some reason everybody votes. Finally, it comes to Shiv. She's the tiebreaker. So now everybody is focusing on, and people are saying when Roman says nope, right, and then Ken said that's fucking right. That is where it kind of pushed Shiv. That is like one theory. Another theory is when Shiv sees Ken sits in like Logan's chair, even though he has their permission, can I sit? And they say the moment she sits there, like, that's when it kind of hits her. Oh my God, he's going to be the CEO. I don't, sorry, I don't like this. You
Yeah,
know?
I feel like when she leaves the room
Yeah.
from that time and she goes upstairs, sometime between
Sometime
her
between
leaving
that,
that
her
floor and going
mind changed.
upstairs,
Something
she changed
changed.
her mind. And maybe as like a policy, they should have just started with Shiv as the first person to
Maybe,
give the
maybe.
vote. Why did they wait for her to be the last person to vote? Like when you have unsure parties, I feel like you should
No,
make
but
them
like
vote
they did
first.
not know that she was unsure, right? They all thought it's all
Yeah.
locked up, right?
I feel like even if Shiv had said no as the first person, there might have been room for somebody else to
Yes,
be
yeah,
convinced and say yes. But making her the last person means that there's no way around it at
nowhere.
all. Yeah.
And then we have the amazing scene where the three of them they fight. Come on, where's your logic? Where's your logic? It doesn't make any sense. I am the first kid. I should be the CEO. Blah blah blah. And he
I'm
says,
the
"I love
eldest
you, yeah, eldest
boy.
boy." And there's like a lot of memes going around about that. There's a lot of memes going around.
Yeah.
His logic
When
is
he says
dumb
I'm the
logic.
eldest boy, I think in my mind it just cracked. I was
Yeah.
like, which is what I think they were trying to say
No,
was
but
he
the
is
main
the
thing
eldest.
that cracked was she says like you cannot be the CEO because like you killed someone. Who? And then Roman is like, what do you mean who? You killed so many people you can't remember who? That's funny.
How did we all forget that he killed someone?
No,
Like
he
we
killed
were so
someone, but he
into the
says
show
immediately,
that we
no, no, no.
all
Yeah, that's
forgot.
just a lie. That's just a goof. I just made it up. That's where like Roman changes, right? We're all trying to bond with you in a very, very vulnerable moment, and you lie to us. Seriously, that's what it is. No, man, no, sorry.
They all snapped in the last moment
Yeah,
when it came down to that. Um, I think there's no way like the show would have had it wouldn't have ever made sense for them to all be on the same
on the
page.
same page.
Like now that I think back at it, like it's just not possible for them to get along. There's no way
No
that
way.
would happen. Like if it didn't happen now, like at that moment in the future, again,
Yeah,
something would have happened.
something would have happened. Something would have happened. No, but again, like he says, like I'm the legacy, I'm this, and then Roman says, no, man, like she's the bloodline. What do you mean? Like your kids are not the real kids. That's oh my God, that's a crazy, crazy thing to say.
So
That's
rough.
so
It's so
rough.
rough. Yeah.
One is
I
adopted,
mean,
one is a test tube baby. She's the actual bloodline. Oh my God, that is. And then they start to fight. Now that's it. Now, no, she leaves. She votes it down, and the deal is dead now. So the Gojo buys it. So that was crazy. And the funny part is like Ken goes back and hey, you know what? Let's just postpone the meeting tomorrow. And then Carl is like, Ken, it's done. It's over with. She won. You don't have it. And you know what the most funny thing is? After all this, Ken walks to the elevator. He goes down, and there's one guy like who gets it, and people are saying, "Who's that guy?" Who's that guy?
I think that shows how like uh, something big has happened in somebody's life, but it's so inconsequential to
Yeah.
somebody else's
But
life.
yeah,
Like
so it
day-to-day
but
sense, it
Roman
makes
says that, come
no
on, man, like you are bullshit, I'm bullshit, she's bullshit, it's all bullshit. Just forget about it.
yeah,
Just
correct. That's it at the end. And it makes me want to think as like the three kids, right? Like when the sale goes through, they're going to get so much more
so much
money.
money. Yeah,
Like they're so, but that's not what they wanted at all. They just wanted the power
power.
or what they thought would give them the power. Because even if one person became the CEO, it doesn't really mean that they have the most power at the end of the day. Like it's not going to make, I think they were all trying to be like, who's going to be like dad, who's going to be like Logan, like who's the next Logan. But the
Yeah,
CEO spot itself doesn't give them much power. Like filling Logan's shoes had more meaning than the role itself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they see the other thing. I thought like Ken might succeed is because like Ken recruits Call, right, the bodyguard, and that is why I thought the waiter, the killing of the waiter will not play a huge role because Carl is the only one who knew, apart from Logan. Carl is the only one you know, but of course the kids knew also. But I never thought like she will pull that card at this moment, right? You cannot be here because like you killed somebody, So that is
Why didn't they discuss that in the beginning? Like I
beginning.
feel like if these people were people who spoke clearly, directly, like let's sit in a room and like room porter Yosipo types, then this would have just not
Yeah,
come. They just like left so much
so much.
at stake. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a great thing, and then finally, like they all coming together, they all sign the thing, and then that amazing scene between Tom and Greg, right? He says, "You really fucked up, man. You are really fucked up, but I got you." Then he put the sticker on his head. That's an
Yeah.
amazing scene, actually. Amazing scene.
Amazing scene. And
Amazing.
that's like that just shows that I think Greg will not get another chance to betray Tom. Like this is it.
No, but I think even like Tom would respect Greg if like for doing this, right? Because it shows that he still has his own mind. He wants to do stuff. He's still ruthless and all those things. But in a way, it's
Yeah.
good though. It's good. Good. So now the show is ended now. So now, where do you think the people go now? So let's start with Ken. So like, what do you think happens to Ken now?
I half expected them to show Ken jump into
Apparently,
the.
he did. Apparently, he actually went and jumped in the water, and there is a shot, a take of him jumping in the water. He said that, and they removed it from the scene because it was not like what was written. So Jeremy Strong said that from what his character has gone through, he really felt he has to go and kill himself. His life is done, and he literally jumped in the water, and they took it out of the scene because it is not like what like Jesse Armstrong wrote, right? He wrote a film only that part.
Yeah.
See, he was so in character. Apparently, he went and jumped in the water.
Because he says that, right? Like, I don't have anything else
Anything, yeah,
other than
exactly.
this. And he doesn't. I don't think that, I mean, obviously, I think they can all start their own
Yeah,
businesses.
but still, I think about it. He has no relationship with his siblings, nothing with his wife. Their kids hate him, right? He has nothing. Even though he has
Yeah.
huge apartments and everything, he has nothing. So I think like
I think the same with Roman too. Roman
no,
also has
Roman is
nothing.
it's another interesting point. So at the last scene is Roman has a martini, which is apparently Logan's drink, and then like he drinks it and he smiles, right? So what do you think happens to Roman?
I feel like Roman will be the quickest to recover. Um, he'll bounce back and he'll just go back to like living his life. I feel like he'll move to California and become a hippie or something, and he'll recover from this because I think he deep down always knew that he was not meant to be for this role, and that he's the like the new Connor. He's just going to accept it and he's going to move on and he say, I have what I have, and he will come out of it. I feel like Ken maybe will never recover from this because he went through betrayal. But Roman didn't go through betrayal. He just didn't get what was never his. So he's just going to move on. I feel like he has it the simplest of all of them.
Okay. According to Jeremy Strong, on an interview, he said Roman becomes an alcoholic. That is what the last drink means. He drinks the drink and then he smiles, meaning he's so happy after he drank it. So that means he's going to become a full-time alcoholic. His life goes into a huge mess. That's what he thinks will happen to Roman, which I don't know. But I think, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe like Roman can come out of it, maybe not. But he can definitely do like better than Ken. He will do better than Ken because Ken is done.
Yeah.
Ken, I have no idea what he's going to do. I have zero idea what's going to do. I really want 3 years from now for them to make a Succession movie, right? 3 years from now, if they made the movie, I would really watch that. Yeah.
And that movie is just going to be about how like Gojo
Yeah.
is selling
Yeah. What happened?
the company
What happened?
back.
Yeah. Not back or whatever. Like what's happening? They all try to come and screw up Tom or the kids already bought the PS company. They want to come and take over Gojo. I don't know. Whatever. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, that will be a great thing to watch. But then, and another last scene is Tom and Shiv in the car. He just puts the hand and she does not. He just puts it on top. She doesn't hold him, nothing. He just, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just be with you. You know,
Tom has all the power
all the power,
in the relationship. All.
everything.
She only has the money, which also she just does not care about at this point. And he has 100%
Power.
of control in that relationship.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's going to happen to Connor. Connor's married and he might go somewhere. I don't know what's going to happen with Connor.
He's not gonna go to Slovenia because
he's not going to
Mencken is not gonna win.
Yeah. Again, like, that was not, they didn't like put like so much effort into like that part. They just said, yeah, he may not win because it's still been the case is going on. He may not win.
Yeah.
So that was the thing.
I think they took inspiration from the 2020 election, and if
obviously,
that's any indication, then Mencken won't win. Then Connor's not gonna get. But he does have an amazing house, and he just has money, and like I feel like all of them have so much money, they should be willing to just chill.
Yeah.
Like they should just be like, it doesn't matter. We have money. We'll just like
I want to go see online if there is even like any article about how much money they actually got from this deal. All three of them. You should go to find out how much money they actually got.
It should be a lot, right?
Yeah,
like,
everybody's getting paid off. Jerry is getting paid off. Carl and Frank are getting a huge money, right? So that is done. I want to know how much money actually like Ken, Shiv, and Roman got from this deal. So
Yeah.
that would be amazing money to win. So yeah, so Succession, yeah, one of the all-time great shows, all-time, definitely the top three for me. So,
I agree.
but I'm really gonna
I
miss all of them, right?
I know, me too. They really created a entire era of, television, I think, with like just 4 seasons. Like it ended in like its peak time. They ended the show, so it just went out on a high, and I think
Yeah, I mean,
like
it's
nothing
very,
will
very
ever.
rare for a show to like not even have a single character who man like that guy did not act properly or it's a waste character. Every character in the show had a meaning, had a moment, had a very even like Ken's secretary Jess, right? She had an
Correct.
amazing moment too,
Yeah.
right?
And that scene at the funeral
Yeah,
where the 4 people who
yeah,
Logan was with, the women, they all come
yeah,
sit
yeah.
in
They all do.
front
Yeah, it's crazy
together.
together.
Even that like had like a nice ending meaning to it. Yeah. They really thought of everything,
Yeah,
the show.
no, I mean, I think it's a very, very rare case. I mean, and this one, like, we cannot binge it, Succession, because you have to enjoy every episode, right? It's, I mean, for me, it's a great thing because I watch the episode, I go and read the recap from 3 different websites. I go listen to a podcast from one more guy to understand everything about the show, all the nuances, this and that. It's amazing. So much great experience to watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going to be next after this. I don't know which show is going to come, which can really like blow us out of the water. I doubt. I really doubt this.
This show reminded me a lot of another show HBO did a while back called Newsroom.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw the first 2 seasons. I didn't see after that. Yeah, it was
I
supposed
think
to be
the similarities between Newsroom and this is that it's also like very like high stakes.
high
Uh,
stakes, and that is Aaron Sorkin, right? Too many
and I
dialogues
thought,
back and
yeah,
forth. But here,
yeah.
dialogues there's no back and forth, but it's too hi-fi dialogues. They all talking like business jargons and stuff like that.
They speak in some language that
Nobody
I
can
did
understand.
not
Nobody can.
understand.
Nobody can.
Half the time, I'm just like, wait, what's your real take on this? Like, can I understand this better? Like, if I was in a room with any of them, I'd just be
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
are they really talking about this or are they talking about something else?
Yeah, I saw a TikTok where like Kendall is trying to order Starbucks, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Actually, that's really funny. Yeah, that's good. So anyway, so what are you watching after this?
Oh my God. Right now, nothing. I don't think anything is going to even come close to living up to these standards. So we'll see what a HBO has in store next. Or maybe if these people, any of these actors resurface to do something else, or if the director created something else, I'd be the first to watch. I would definitely sign up for anything that any of them are involved in.
Okay, I think you got the Geo Cinema app right now.
Yeah.
If you have that, then there's a show called Yellowstone, which is a very famous show. You should watch that.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, that is pretty good. There's a show called The Offer. You should ask your dad to watch that. That's a great,
Okay.
great show. It's a great show. So let's see. Okay, let me stop the recording. Hello. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe and keep watching. Thank you very much.